Okay, round 1 has started. We lost the die roll and are waiting for our opponent. He obviously chose to play first, and our hand looks pretty bad, so we have to mulligan this. Okay. That, on the other hand, looks really good. That's a pretty awesome hand, and we should keep this. I usually like to go turn 1 Nacatl, turn 2 Delver, since Nacatl provides a safe turn 3 3/3 attack, but with that hand we might not do it, but now that we drew into the second hand to give us a turn 2 3/3 Nacatl, we actually go with the turn 1 Nacatl here. Stomping Ground and Nacatl. And we're playing against Affinity, which is a pretty favorable and nice matchup usually. Especially if he has kind of a slow and weak start. But our hand is a bit removal light, so it depends on what he has, how good the game is going to go for us. So I'm going to fetch a Hello Fountain there, play our Delver, and leave open Lightning Bolt mana in case he, for example, has a plating on the Volt Scourge. Double Volt Scourge for 2 life twice definitely helps our Nacatl beatdown plan here. Since we pretty much have to beat down and raise here, because we only have a single Lightning Bolt to stop him from whatever he is doing. But then again, it seems like he doesn't have that much going on yet. He missed his second land drop and had to go Scourge into Scourge for 2 life, and apparently doesn't have anything noteworthy either yet. I wonder why he is only attacking with 1 Volt Scourge. Maybe he expects to be able to maybe stall the Delver a bit, but I don't know. Ah, okay, he missed the plating. That's kind of weird though, to play that post combat. I mean, he can try to play around Lightning Bolt a bit, but not sure how much that helps him. Okay, Galvanic Blast on our Nacatl. That's a bit of a bummer, but not that big of a deal. I'm not going to Lightning Bolt here, since I definitely want to stop one plating attack at least. So now we really want to draw another removal and flip the Delver. Come on. That's not a removal, but still pretty good. Especially the Delver flip. So we have to play the Steam Vents untouched, unfortunately, because we most likely want to mana leak and Lightning Bolt that turn. It's a bit sad that we can't play Geist. That's usually the problem, like Geist is a lot worse in like half the matchups when you're on the draw. Just because the format is so fast and decks like Affinity or most combo decks just are so fast that if you tap out on the draw on turn 3 for a Geist, like in that situation, you're falling way too far behind. But against Affinity, you often can set up a turn 3 Geist even on the draw if you have a removal heavier draw than we have now. But with this particular draw, Geist is not that great. But maybe we will manage to win anyway. We'll see. Depends a lot on our next draw set, I think. We draw into another removal or a Snapcaster for our Lightning Bolt. We are in fairly good shape. Okay, there we go. Bolt and F6. Come on. I think I want to go for Zero Visions here over Geist, just because we really need to draw into something here. And that's exactly what we wanted. And we get to scry away 2 lands, so that's pretty much like the perfect Zero Visions there. But I feel like if we play guys, we take like 5, maybe even 6 or 7 damage from plating, and he gains 7 life, and we are completely out of the game. Since the Geist is not going to raise that. Okay, there goes the Helix. So we should be able to win this one. I mean, the Springleaf Drum doesn't even produce mana right now, so most of the things that we can play here. Oh yes, this is box good. Okay, that's something I guess. So let's see if we can pull that stunt again. Not this time. We really don't want to draw either of those. And I am thinking I might just block here, I think, and play a Geist. So I'm gonna drop the Geist and stay at home. I think. He goes attack for 3, he goes to 3, attacks, puts us to 7 maybe, or maybe even 6 if he activates the Nexus and maybe has another artifact. Then he goes to 10, we deal 9, so we pretty much have to draw into something. So let's see. It's pretty close actually if we want to attack here or not. I think I actually might want to attack because he needs to activate the Nexus and to have another artifact to not die on the backswing, and even then we can draw a burn spell. And if we trade, he goes up to like 12 again, and we have the Geist, and the game goes longer, and we don't really want that game to go too long. So I think I want to attack here. It's a pretty close call though. We still have the option to block next turn in a lot of cases if we have to. Okay, that's enough. Then not draw. He has the second plating and the ManuS to activate it, to equip it. Then yeah, this exactly certain. It's like wow. So pretty much even if he has a regular land, we go to 1 and don't die and still have to either the Delver to block next turn or draw a removal spell. But he has everything, so we die. Still debatable if it's worth taking the risk of attacking there or not, but with having pretty much only a dead second Geist in hand, I like to try and close out the game as quickly as possible. So onto the sideboard, we want all the 3 removal spells, cut the mana leaks, and I usually just take out the Geist as well and add in like an Enduring Click because it blocks, for example, the Signal Pest. And as we already saw, it's kind of clunky and it gets stalled by Edge Champion. And with Nacatl you can play an attacker and then just remove everything they play, land a lot better. I mean, Nacatl also gets stopped by Edge Champion, but well, you can't stop everything. I like it like that. I mean, it's debatable if you want a mana leak over the Vendilion Click maybe, for example, to stop stuff like Edge Champion. The more I think about it, I actually like that better on the play. On the draw, I like the click better, I think. So I keep on mana leaker. Okay, that's a pretty sweet hand. So we're going to keep that. That's the kind of hands you want against Affinity. So we're just going to go to one Green Lava Metal and pass the turn. Sorry guys, our opponent is a bit slow. we really don't have any control over that stuff on Magic Online side. I mean, turn 2 I'm most likely going to Zero Visions and keep up Spell Snare mana, or like turn 2 Plating, Steel Overseer, stuff like that. Or depending on what he does, we might like Zero Visions from Lavamancer. We'll see. And it's pretty flexible, gives us a lot of options. Okay, that looks a lot better than game 1 frame. But that is pretty sweet actually. And I think I want to explosive for 0, yeah, because it takes away the Ornithopter and the Mox, limits his options a lot next turn. I'm not 100% sure, so let's think about it at the moment. Takes away those, which would 2 next turn, and will attack now. Other option would be fetch and make Zero Visions, leaving Spell Snare, Grim Lavamancer mana open. So we pretty much would have to fetch a Hello Fountain to Zero Visions. Question is, do we want to risk him dropping a land and a plating next turn? On the other hand, if we leave up Space Nine mana, he can go land Edge Champion. And I think I might be a bit more afraid of Edge Champion here than of him dropping a plating. That's a pretty tough spot actually. So decisions. I think I might just hold on to the explosives since Mox and Ornithopter are both pretty low impact cards that we might not even have to deal with depending on what he has. So I think just go for the Zero Visions here and leave up Spell Snare, Grim Lavamancer mana. And I like most of those cards and leave them on top. Okay, that's it. We really want the third land in case we like want to drop explosives for 2 and do something, or like explosive for 1 if we have to. Probably not with the Lavamancer, but still an option. And 2 lands is a bit too few. We have enough business so that we want 3 lands to do as much as we can in the single turn to stop him from developing his board and putting pressure on us. So it seems like he has the Nexus, but no Edge Champion, and he is activating the Nexus. So question is, what do we want to kill? I think I don't care about the Nexus right now, so it's probably either the Vault Scourge or the Signal Pest, and it's probably just has to be the Signal Pest, since it deals 3 extra damage, like 2 regular ones and an infect one, and also gives him an extra life. So, down with the Signal Pest. That's not too scary. See, now we can consider if we even want to explosives for 2 here and leave mana up for Cast Snare, which seems pretty reasonable to me. So I think we just untap that, play Explosives for 2. And pass the turn. That also puts a card in the graveyard for another nice activation, which is pretty important. So, yeah. Taking another 2. And he simply has another Nexus. So, what does he have going on there? I honestly don't know. Galvanic Blast probably not, because he would have killed the Lavamancer. Maybe some sideboard cards, or just another land, or another Mox. I don't know. Seems like a pretty weak draw that he has there. So, train to the rocks, and pass. Probably gonna pop the explosives during his combat set. Obviously to deny him any 2 casting cost cards before combat. We have a lot of backup for whatever he might put up, as long as he doesn't get an edge champion with Metalcraft into play, we're fine. Like right now, if he would have an edge champion, we even might be able to just stop the Metalcraft and kill it. So it's all pretty good. We just need to find something to get some pressure out. Okay. Explosives for 2. And I think I just want to take 1 infect here. Or maybe... Yeah, I think I'd rather just take an infect here and potentially pass the Nexus end of turn. He doesn't have a 2 mana card, since he obviously wouldn't play it before combat. There's the play. That's why we didn't pass right away. And now he's pretty much out of gas. We just need to find something to kill him with. Oh, gosh. That's definitely handy here. So we don't kill the Ornithopter here and just pass the turn again. I mean, we don't have a threat yet, but we have so much backup to stop them from dealing any damage to us that we should have enough time to find something to kill them with. Okay, that's fine. Now that we drew a grudge, blading isn't even a threat anymore. That's sweet. Very sweet. So we just kill the Nexus and then grudge the blade. And order. Okay. So now we have something that will eventually turn into a threat. And I think Grim just wants to attack here, since even if we cast Has or Helix, we don't really want to exile Grudge, even though we don't have a green mana yet to flash it back. We might either flash it back with a Snapcaster or just draw into a green mana source eventually. Okay, just gonna Helix that and hang on to the Pass to Exile in case, for example, well, not actually in case of anything, just not wanting to give him the lands. He's like pretty limited on his mana right now. The Mox is not a mana source, he only has 2 lands, so he can't even cast an Edge Champion right now, and really wanna leave it at that. Okay, he just keeps dropping land after land. That's fine. Now we can start using our chain to the rocks. Oh, wear and tear. That's also sweet. So we're just gonna cast chain to the rocks and get rid of these debuffs here. And then pass the turn again. Yeah, that's one of the situations that come up more often in that matchup, that you can deal with pretty much everything they do and just sit there waiting for something to kill them. But that usually comes around eventually, so it's all good. Even an edge champion right now would not be a problem. You can just remove the metal grab and then remove the champion. So no problem. Okay, I think I might just wear that Nexus so we can potentially heal Lavamancer again, and again just hold on to the more mana efficient Faster Exile. Wait, actually, I think I might hold on to Wear and Tear just because of stuff like Blood Moon. I mean, it's unlikely that he drops one right now, but it's still a card, so might as well just not run into a Blood Moon there. That's one of the better ways to lose that game, I guess. Now we can just pass to Exile. Since you can't Blood Moon that turn. But I usually want to leave one white open to float a white and tear the Blood Moon after it resolves. Okay, we're gonna play that untap, so we can flashback the Grudge. Also, we can Snapcast the Helix now, which is pretty sweet. And start beating down eventually. To get that game over with. And he keeps trying to pressurize with his Nacatl, which is totally acceptable. So I think we're just gonna kill both Nacatl here. Just Snapcast here. Has to exile one and Grudge the other. Since the island should be his only basic land, has to exile pretty much just one mana, exile target creature. So, next is 1, and next is 2. And we finally got a clock going. I might even just chain to the rocks. Cast chain to the rocks on the Ornithopter, so the Grim Avalanche can start attacking also, if he doesn't have anything. Okay. Now, oh well, I might actually still. Oh, never mind, I think we're just going to fetch and remember to the signal fest on his turn though, in case he hits like another blading or something. So we just attack with his Nacatl and investigate. And then see what he draws into, since our removal is starting to get a bit limited now, so we have to be a bit less wasteful with it. I think I just let him attack and kill the Ornithopter, because the Ornithopter keeps the Grim Avalanche from attacking, and Signal Pest just doesn't do anything on its own either, except that it blocks worse than the Ornithopter. And there's barely any Nexi anymore to worry about either, so just get the lands out of the deck so we eventually draw into relevant business and keep up the beatdown. We pretty much have like 3 removal left the Wear, the Chained, and the Wear gives us another Grim Lava activation. And it seems like he's out of threats, which is good for us. Okay, if he leaves, it's pretty sweet. We should win that game in like the next couple of turns, pretty safely. He can't even cast his high impact straight drops right now. But say sideboarded Master of Ethereum wouldn't do anything anyway. So it's only about a potential edge champion that we can even kill right now. Okay, that game is officially over right now. Even though we might not be able to kill him right now, can only put him to 1, but he's just gonna die as soon as we hunt him. Sorry guys, in that stage, these games tend to be a bit boring to watch, since the game is pretty much over for a couple of turns already, but we have to get them dead, because they usually won't concede, since there is a chance that they might stick something that we can't handle and they can steal the game whisper. Not this time. So we mix to the face and game. Attack. He's gonna even make us attack. Okay, 1-1. Next game. Let's rethink the sideboarding for a moment. I might actually just reconsider Geist over Nacatl, but then again we are on the draw, so we already saw how mediocre Geist is. But Geist definitely finishes the games quicker than Nacatl, but I think Nacatl being a 1-mana threat just fits a lot better with the game plan of controlling what they are doing and putting pressure on them at the same time. So I think I'm just probably gonna cut the mana leak for a Vendilion Click and submit again. Seems like our opponent has a bit more to think about with his sideboarding, or is just busy. And I mean, look at the leg post sideboarding. It's pretty much just a few threats and almost all removal, and some cantrips to find even more removal, and even some of the cards like Grim Lavamancer and Snapcaster are kind of both the threat and the removal. That's just kind of the perfect deck against Affinity. That's a really good hand, and we're going to keep our opponent money into 6. At least he's a bit quicker with his play this time, so less waiting for us. But again, not the most impressive opening for him. I think we might. We just want to play Grim Lavamancer on turn 1 here and see what we are going to do on turn 2. So, Misty Rainforest. Skeleton fetches everything, Misty Rainforest almost everything. So might just as well use the Misty Rainforest in 1. And in that case get us Steam Vents, since we have no green cards, and we might want like double blue next turn and stuff like that, so we don't want to fetch green as long as we don't need it. Next turn we are going to potentially just play fetch land, fetch, play Delver, and activate the Grim Lavamancer, unless he makes us use our Pass to Exile as well, which I doubt. So that we exactly can't kill the Killer Void. Otherwise, I would definitely try and go for the Glimmer Void kill here. Now we theoretically could, but since he killed the Lava Mancer, we don't have the second removal or the Ornithopter, so we're just going to fetch a Hallowed Fountain, play Zero Visions with a Hallowed Fountain, since we don't want to pass anyway. We rather keep up his demons, so if we draw into a Lightning Bolt, we have the option between Dagger and Bolt. But even if we draw a Bolt in that particular case, we like to just play Dagger anyway, especially if we have a spell on top to flip it. So we don't want land, and we also don't want another Delver, so we're just going to play the Delver here and pass. We are on a fairly low life total already, just because our mana base is so painful, but since he doesn't have that strong and explosive of a draw, it should be alright, and we should take over the game in the next 2 turns, most likely. So that's just the perfect draw. Delver flipping with the best possible card. Okay, so I think we play the fetch land and probably just fetch a basic island here. Yeah, I think we just fetch a basic island, play Zero Visions and keep up Lightning Bolt and cast extra mana, or even if we draw into a Helix, we can just Helix. Okay, Zero Visions. More lands, we definitely don't want those. That's when Scry really gets you well, if you get to put both cards on the bottom left. It feels nice if you get to top, but that's the cards you would have drawn anyway, so it's actually the best feeling to just see 2 miserable cards that you don't have to draw because you got to scry them away. I think we still have to attack here, since the longer the game goes, the worse it gets. Also, we are a bit flooded, and we can just like Lightning Bolt the Vault Scourge on his turn and take 1. So even though we are on a fairly low life total, we should win the race with like 2 removal and a Snapcaster in hand, and him having a pretty weak clock. It's definitely a much clearer attack here than last time when I had the Geist in game 1, where it was a very close call between attacking and not attacking, and I just decided to attack because I wanted to cut the game short, and he was lucky enough to punish us for it, so that happens sometimes. Still think the attack wasn't wrong. It was just a bit more risky play, even though not by much. I mean, he pretty much needed the Mox as ManuS because he needed the additional artifact and the second plane for us to die, or like a Galvanic Blast or something. And I think we already counted 1 plating also, so it was like the 3rd plating I think in the game. There was like a 2 outer plus 1 out of 4. Okay, hold that guy. Question is now, do I want to pass the Vault Scourge end of turn? I theoretically might, just because we don't really want to fetch another untapped land with a Misty next turn. But I think I might hold on to the pass and just hold the Vault Scourge and leave Ornithopter and Signal Pest in play. Okay, now that he has a second Ornithopter, I think I'm actually going to pass the Vault Scourge because now I want to get rid of the Signal Pest because his clock is increasing and the Ornithopters are just dead weight without the Signal Pest. And his only Nexus is Inkmoth Nexus with Infect, which doesn't pressure us much at all right now. So if he's attacking us for 1 poison a turn, I don't care right now. So get rid of that one. So as long as we draw into a reasonable spell this turn, we should be fine. just not another land. Yeah, that's totally fine. So just play that land and actually get rid of the signal pest with a chain to the rocks. So we even potentially get to either kill whatever creature he might uh, slap the plating on, or just get rid of the nexus if he exposes it. But we might even hold on to our last room and let the nexus hit us, just so we don't die to something better and bigger. So Edge champion? No, Master of Ethereum. Okay, that guy is fortunately not very big, so we even can lightning bolt it here. I made a little mistake actually that I just noticed. We can't snapcast a Pest Exile right now since we don't have Temple Garden anymore. So I actually had to play Scouting Tarn to be able to fetch Sacred Foundry to pass it, but fortunately enough it's in lightning bolt range. So we can just bolt it, which is better anyway. So I think I'm just going to get Stomping Ground here. We have enough blue mana, and having a second red and a green is better than having a false blue and a green. So like that. So lightning bolt. And good that we got rid of the single pass because otherwise we couldn't hold the master because it would be a platform. Now we just take 0 and hit him back for 5. That's a sweet draw because it protects us from a lot of his top decks like a fading or another master that could put us in trouble here. Because the game's still a bit close since he has some stuff in play that is not doing anything right now but can get turned on by a bunch of cards that he can draw. So another Nexus. We might actually have to kill that Nexus because it can block and trade with our Insectile Aberration. Either putting the Inkmod Nexus in front. Oh, actually that turn can only be the Inkmod Nexus pumped by the Inkmod Nexus, and the turn after we can block with the Nexus and pump itself. But here's another Master. So if he's attacking again, we're just gonna kill it and hope to draw into a burn spell to just win the game. Okay. I think I don't kill it right now. I just have to fill out the deck and pretty close. Yeah, I think I just have to kill it because otherwise the Snapcaster can't attack. Yeah, we just attack with the Liberation. I think we just have to kill it since we just want to attack with the Snapcaster and eventually make him jump up here. So one more business spell and the game should be ours. At 0, thanks. That's not as good as a burnt hole, but still good enough, since it stops his Nexus blocking shenanigans and turns his Ornithopters into jump hoppers. That's annoying, to say the least. So I think the best play here is probably just to attack with the Aberration, since we have to be able to block the Ravager, and he can like just block, make it bigger. It's actually pretty awkward. Yeah. Okay. Attack with the aberration. Problem is we have to actually trade the aberration here because we need the passive to track this from potential ravager on. Can go 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not easy yet. We have to country. I think we could actually risk passing the nexus here. Problem is you can eat it with a ravager for free, and we lose the pass as a backup. And if he just goes for something with a ravager there, we have no protection. It's a pretty tough spot. I think we just have to let the aberration trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we kill that, we can either eat it, go to 2, jump with that, go to 3. This is 3, 3 to next line and on softer. We play the Nacatl and block the Ravager, like double block the Ravager. He has to sack it to the Ornithopter. 9, we would also die to a top decked plating and stuff like that. And a lot of artifacts. It would be 3, 3, goes in play, 4, 5, 6. 6, so it could be Weasel. Now, can't do it. We have to let him eat it. Pretty much just wanna not die till we have a burn spell. The best way is just lock up the ground for the Ravager because I can't afford to sack the Ravager to anything as long as we have to cast Exile. Okay, next turn. And we can even potentially try to attack with the Nacatl next turn depending on what we draw. So let's see what he has drawn. Whoa. That's pretty damn good. But at least gives us another draw step. Okay, maybe he's going for it and we just win the game. So if we do it like that, so 3, let's see, if we do it like that, we can just, yeah, I think if we do it like that, we will win. Okay, seems like he just threw away the game. That's fine. See guys, that's why we have to keep the pass right now. First of all, so we don't lose the game, and second of all, so we win the game for our opponent goes away. Seems a bit greedy to go for it there. He could just attack with an Nexus and protect us. I mean, sure, I can see he wants to prevent us from drawing into Burnspell, but not sure. I mean, I guess he's thinking we can only hold one of the three past the exiles or an artifact removal there, because a Burnspell would have just killed him. But yeah, we have it, and he's dead. Good game. At least he got rewarded for going for it, because he would have lost it, since the Lightning Helix was on top of our deck, waiting for him to die. Okay, so we are 1-0 now. Second round is going to start in 2 minutes. See you in round 2.